This is a simplistic alternate way to do your forms if you want to do it this way. Okay, the problem with marking forms is that there is no automatic way to do it. In other words, if I click on this first form, student has what the student says, there's no place to do a grade. And so that means you're going to have to create your own way of doing grades, which is, to be honest, rather annoying. And so to get around this, it's not a really good fix, but if you have a lot of forms, I've got forms, lots and lots of forms. I can't really spend the amount of time that it takes to do the marking the way it's set up in Moodle, unless there's a way that I just don't know about. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm selecting all of the form posts here, okay? There you go, I've got the whole schmeal. So I've got all of the form posts, and I'm going to go over to here. I'm going to paste them in a blank sheet, blank spreadsheet. All right, I just pasted it. Now, I don't know why, because I don't understand how this works. I do not want column D. That's people who have replied to it, so I just delete that so I won't have any confusions. I don't need this because this is the number of replies there have been. I don't need the first one because this is just the description of the student's title of what that student said. So now I've got picture of. I want to do a replace in that, and so I'm going to just type the word picture of with the space on it and replace it with nothing, 31 replacements. Now what I'm going to do is just run this up, and I'm going to sort it. My classes these days, at least, I'm going with sorting by the first name. So there we go. So now I've got a list. 31 students did this particular form. All right, now it's not all the students in the class. I'm missing a few students. So I need this in my gradebook. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop over to my gradebook. This is my final gradebook. It's just the start of a gradebook, okay? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just copy these students' names. Because what I want to do is I want to get the right order. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the what I had. That's the wrong class. Let's try it again. It didn't look right. All right, this is the right class. Yeah, that's better. So I'm just going to copy these. I just want to make sure that I'm not messing up the student names here. And so I'm just going to paste it. All right, so I got to do a little bit of adjusting that will take me like a minute. And I just do that so that I don't mess up. All right, so far, that's the first one. So just move it down. Okay. Oh, there we go. So now we're all lined up. We just have to make sure that everybody's lined up. All right, now, here's the idea. I don't know, I haven't looked at these, and I will look at them. Just glance over them. But I don't want to spend 2 hours marking all of these forms because I do forms every week. I have 13 forms or 14 forms to mark. That's too much work, okay? Because forms are just have a specific purpose. The purpose of forms is to help the students again to re-interact with the information and perhaps think something different because of what they read another student writing. So I don't need perfection in that, not like an essay or something like that. So if they did it at all, that's good enough for me to give them credit. So now I can see that I've got, and I give 5 points credit. And so I can just see all of these students, they get 5 points. These students get 0. These students get 5 points. These students get 5 points. And actually, the students who haven't done it are, not all, but 3 of those students never showed up in the classroom. Okay, I think that's accurate. All right, so now what I have is I remove these. And now I have 4 I've got my title. Pretty quick. Now I just take this and I go over to what could be, but isn't actually. I'm not really doing this as my final one, and I just paste it right here. So now, here I have my form, and this is a fair representation of what my students have done. Because a forum does not have to be serious. I'll run through them to see if anybody just threw garbage, but they won't, because I've already marked forums, and so I don't think I'm going to have a problem. So here we go. Okay, so this is how, if you just want to make sure students did the forum without actually spending that 2 or 3 hours to mark them all, this is how you can do it in a quick way, just to demonstrate that they actually did something. Okay, so that's another help for grading.